Hi there! This time I'll teach you a very easy version of a cardigan. Very colorful and nice to wear during the spring days that are coming. The pattern is super easy and it's very easy to adjust to your own size. The pattern is written in US terms and the body is worked up from bottom to top in one piece, and then we attach the sleeves and the collar. If you like this pattern, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you have a request for a tutorial or any question, leave it in the comments down below. Let's begin. For this project I used a full pack of Ice Yarns Pastel Cotton. In the pack are 8 balls. Every ball is 50 grams and has about 100 meters. The recommended hook is a 4 to 5 millimeter, but I'm going to use a 10 millimeter crochet hook. It is a 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. You can use any number 4 yarn you like. If you want to use this yarn, you can go to the description box down below and click on the link, and then you can buy the same yarn as I did. The color is pink shades, blue shades, and it is a gorgeous color. So if you want the same yarn as me, then click on the link in the description box. If you want another yarn, then you can use any number 4 yarn you like. Just pick the hook size a lot bigger than recommended in the yarn label. So this was a recommendation 4 to 5 millimeter and I use a 10. So keep that in mind when you make your cardigan, so it becomes nice and loose and soft. Okay, I use a stitch marker, that's optional, scissors and a tapestry needle to weave in your ends. Let's get started. We start the pattern with a number of measurements. So measure your size. First of all, measure your size at chest height. The tape measure shouldn't be pulled tight around your body and leave about 1 inch of space between the 2 ends. Then write this number down by 1 at 1. You can find this and the whole pattern on my blog. The link to that is in the description box down below. So then you can print out this drawing and then you can write down your measurements and work from there. So around your body and leave about 1 inch space between the 2 ends in front of your chest, and then so the widest part of your chest, that's the part you measure, and then write down at the bottom how many inches that is. Then measure from your shoulder to almost mid-front. Write down that number at number 2. And then for number 3, measure your back from shoulder to shoulder. Write down this number. Then measure from your armpit to the top of your shoulder. That's number 5. And measure from the armpit to where you want your cardigan to fall. That's number 4. So those 5 measurements you need for your cardigan. So if you wrote down these 5 measurements, then we can start. This pattern starts with a half double crochet foundation chain. I'll show you how to start your pattern in another color so you can see better what I'm doing. So therefore I use a 6 millimeter crochet hook. That's not the same hook as I use in the pattern. If you don't like to start with a half double crochet foundation chain, then you can also start with just a normal chain and then work a row of half double crochets on top. Then you have the same beginning as when you start with a half double crochet foundation chain. So for the foundation chain, make a slip knot on your hook. And chain 2. 1, 2. Now yarn over insert your hook in the first chain you made, yarn over, pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, so you made a new chain. So pinch this chain between your fingers so you know where to insert your hook in the next stitch. So this is your place to insert your hook. If you think it's difficult to pinch the stitch between your fingers, you can put in a stitch marker to recognize this stitch. So that's up to you. I pinch it between my fingers, then yarn over and finish your normal half double crochet. So yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Let's do that again. Yarn over. You have here the stitch between your fingers. We insert under both loops of that stitch, like this. Then yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. This is your new chain. So pinch this between your fingers, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Let's do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook under both loops of the pinched stitch. Oops, both loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. This is your new chain, so pinch this between your fingers and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops in your hook. Yarn over again, insert under both loops of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 1 loop. So this is your new chain. Hold this between your fingers and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops in your hook. Yarn over, insert under the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, hold this loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So this is a half double crochet foundation chain. So make sure your foundation chain is an uneven number and is 1 inch shorter than the size you measured at number 1. Your work stretches a bit so you can get the desired width by working up the cardigan. So this is your foundation. Let's jump into row 1. I worked up 13 half double crochet foundation chain stitches. For my swatch, you make it as long as you need to fit around your body. The stitch pattern. Chain 1, turn your work, then yarn over and make 2 half double crochet in the first stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert in the same loop, in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You now made 2 half double crochet in this stitch, then skip 1 stitch and make 2 half double crochet in the next. So yarn over, skip a stitch, make 2 half double crochet in the next. Then skip a stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next. And this is your repeat for the whole row. So skip a stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next. Skip a stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next. Skip a stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next. And last, skip a stitch, 2 half double crochet in the second chain from the beginning, chain 2, to end your row. So this is your first row of the stitch pattern. So to continue to row 2, and row 2 is your repeat throughout the whole pattern, so you repeat row 2 all the way the whole time. So chain one, you always chain one, then turn your work, then yarn over, and in between these first 2 half double crochet, in between you make 2 half double crochet. So 1, 2, then yarn over, jump to the next 2 half double crochet, and in between those 2 make 2 half double crochet. Super easy. Then jump to the next, between the 2 half double crochet, make 2 half double crochet. So make 2 half double crochet in between every 2 half double crochet, and then that's all the way to the end. And there you have your row 2 done. So repeat row 2 all the way throughout your pattern. So that's your repeat row. So super easy, super quick. Repeat row 2 until you have the length you wrote down by number 4. And then we start with the upper half of the body. So repeat row 2 and I'll meet you back when my work is the length I wrote down by number 4. The bottom half of my body is done. We now start with the upper half of our body. So this part is done. And we now start with the 3 panels. So start with here is your work, and it by working up this rows, so you have your loop here and your hook. So we now need to make the first front panel, then bind off, attach your yarn, work up the other front panel, bind off, and then skip 1 V, and in the next V attach your yarn, then work up your pattern until 1 stitch before. So you need to skip a V here as well, and then work up your back panel, and then this is done. So this part we finished. We now move on to this first front panel. So your work ended here. You didn't bind off, so we can just move on, make our stitch pattern. So for me it needs to be 9 inches wide, and that are 10 V's in my case. Maybe in your case that are 11 or 12 or 8. So just work up until you reach this number, and then work up all those rows until you reached this height. For me 7.5 inches, and that's 13 rows. 13 rows for me. So let's begin our front panel. Okay, here's my work. Right. And then chain 1, just like normal, and turn your work. And then in the first stitch, so between the first 2 half double crochets, make 2 half double crochet again, just like you did all the way up. So work your stitch pattern until you reach your width, So I worked up a 9, need one more to finish my 10. Just finish how many stitches you need to get your desired width. So if you make 10, then chain 1, turn your work, and work your way back. So go back and forth until you have your height you measured by number 5. And then I'll meet you back. So I worked up my first front panel, and it reaches the top of my shoulder. This should be the number you wrote down by number 5. So in my case it is 7.5 inches, and that's the same as 13 rows. So you can cut your yarn and bind off, leave a tail, long enough tail so you can attach the front panel to the back panel with the same yarn. Later on, then bind off, and then make exactly the same on the other side of your cardigan. So we made in this side one front panel, make exactly the same on the other side. So I already did that, so we have exactly the same on this side. Now we have a huge gap in between, and we make the back panel in between those two front panels. So therefore make a slip knot on your hook. Or make a slip knot and then slide your hook. You see I end my front panel here, so skip one V, and in the next V you attach your yarn. So insert through the V, grab your slip knot and pull through. Then chain 1 and your yarn is attached. You can pull it tighter. Then turn your work all the way, and then we start our stitch pattern again. So 2 half double crochet in this V, 2 double crochet in the next V, and so on. Work up all the way across until you have, let me show you. So in all the V's across until you have one V left. This V, you don't work in this V. You stop in this V and then work back and forth, also until you have the height you need. So for me that's 13 rows, so I work up 13 rows for the back panel as well. So work your way up and I'll meet you back when my back panel is done. Okay, I'm at the end of my back panel. I worked up 13 rows, just like my 2 front panels, and now I can cut my yarn. I just did that, and then yarn over, pull through, and bind off. Okay, now we attach the front shoulder seam to the back panel. So turn your front panel, fold it over so it lies exactly, is lined up with your back panel. Do the same on the other side. So I hope you can see this. So here you have your front panel and this is the back panel, and now flip your front panel on top of your back panel and line it up. I'll show you some pictures how to fold your work so you can see better what I mean. And then we stitch the two sides together. So get your yarn needle and your tail end. You can use that for sewing up this end. So let me zoom in a bit. So you can insert through the first stitch and then through this first stitch on the back panel and then pull through. Then go back through the second stitch from the front and through the second stitch of the back panel. Then through the front panel, through the back panel, through the front panel, through the back panel and through the front panel, and so on. So you can stitch this all the way across, or you can just make slip stitches. I'll show you how to do that. Then I take out my stitching. And then just insert your hook in the first stitch and insert your hook in the first stitch of the back panel. Then grab your tail end, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. And now just insert in the next stitch and in the next stitch of the other panel, pull up a loop and pull through two. And pull through the stitch, the next stitch and the next stitch. And pull through. And pull through. And pull through. So you can stitch it together like this. You can make single crochet stitches if you prefer, or you can stitch it together with a yarn needle. So that's up to you. Pick the way you prefer. And then until the end of the front panel, and then do the same on the other side, and then your body is done. And then it's time to fit. So if you sewed your shoulder seams together, turn it inside out, right side out again, and then put it on and see if it fits. Double check if your measurements are correct and your work should fit, but it's always nice to double check. So sew your shoulder seams together, try it on, see if it fits, and then I'll show you how to make the sleeves. For the sleeves, you attach your yarn in the corner under the arm, in between two half double crochets. So make a slip stitch, insert your hook in the corner under your arm, slide the slip stitch on your hook, pull through, yarn over, chain 1 and pull tight. You now attach your yarn and you make another half double crochet in the same space. I put in a stitch marker so I know where my round starts and ends. In the next, just make your stitch patterns, so 2 half double crochet in this stitch, and then we are at the other corner, so we make 2 half double crochets in this corner. And then we have the rows. Let me turn my work. We have the rows, so this is how we worked up our pattern. So we have a row and another row and another row and so on. We skip one row and then we make 2 half double crochet in the next. We skip one row, make 2 half double crochet in the next, and so on. So skip one row, make 2, I need more yarn, make 2 half double crochet in the next, skip one, make 2 half double crochet in the next, skip one, 2 half double crochet in the next. Do this all the way around. So skip one, 2 half double crochet in the next, all the way around until you are at the stitch marker again, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, I'm back at my stitch marker again. I made in total 17 times 2 half double crochet. In this case we don't close our rounds but just move on, making 2 half double crochets in between the 2 half double crochets. So just work up your stitch pattern just the way you did for the body. But now we don't turn our work, we don't chain one, we just keep working. All the way around. Okay, check every once in a while how it fits. If you need decreasing, then do this under the arm. So decrease under the arm. We do that by not making 2 half double crochet in the stitch, but just make 1 and then move on to the next. And that too, just 2 half double crochet. Then work your round, and when you in the next round, when you are at the 1 half double crochet you made, just skip that one. So then we jump from this 2 half double crochet, skip the 1 half double crochet and work straight into this 2 half double crochet. Then fit again if it fits better, and every time you need decreasing, do it like this. So 2 rounds of decreasing every time you want to decrease. Write down your rounds when you make your decreases so you can repeat this on the other sleeve. I've made 8 rows so far on the sleeves, on one sleeve, and now it's time to decrease. So I like to show you how to do that. Yarn over, in the middle, under the arm. Instead of making 2 half double crochet in between the 2 half double crochet, we just make 1. So 1 half double crochet, and then jump to the next 2 half double crochet. We make 2 half double crochet in this stitch and in every stitch in this round. So make 2 half double crochet in every stitch around until you are at your 1 half double crochet again, and then I'll meet you back. I now finish my round and reach my 1 half double crochet again, and now we are skipping this half double crochet and make 2 half double crochet in the next 2 half double crochet. So make your work not too loose, otherwise your gap will be a little bit too big, and make 2 half double crochet in this stitch. And if you work your way up, you can see that you make a decrease. Repeat this decreasing as many times as you need to make the sleeve perfect for you, and just work up the sleeve until you like the length. I stopped just past my elbows, but you can stop at any time. If you want short sleeves, then stop a little bit earlier, and if you want long sleeves, then work it up until you have long sleeves. If you like the length, then I'll meet you back. My sleeve is now just past my elbows, so I'm finishing off. To do that, we make a slip stitch in the first stitch in in the first stitch of the round to close your round, and now we make 2 chains, and then we make 1 half double crochet in every stitch around. So yarn over, and in this stitch half double crochet, in the next stitch half double crochet, the next half double crochet, and so on. So all the way around in every stitch, so no longer between the 2 half double crochets, but in the stitches make 1 half double crochet in every stitch around, and I'll meet you back when I'm at the beginning again. Okay, I finished my round of half double crochet stitches in every stitch, and now I make a slip stitch in the first half double crochet to close my round. You can make another row of half double crochets on top of this one, or you can leave it like this. So cut your yarn, bind off, and weave in this end, and then make another sleeve exactly the same way you did on this side. So make it exactly the same, and then I'll meet you back when you have 2 sleeves and we are ready to make the collar. To finish your neckline and your front panels, we make also a row of half double crochets along this line. So go to the left corner of the front panel on the left side if you are right-handed. If you are left-handed, then start on the right panel. So let me move this out of the way. So here is my left corner of the front panel on the left side, and then I insert my hook in the first stitch, the first row, then pick up my loop, pull through, and then work over my tails, and then chain 1, and then you secured you attach your yarn. Now we are making half double crochets. In the first row we make 2 half double crochet, in the second row we make 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet. If your work starts to get wavy, then you need to make less half double crochet, because you have too many stitches and then your work isn't nice and flat anymore. If your work starts to pull, then you need to make more half double crochet, because your work then is too tight. Then you make 2 less stitches. So eyeball it after you did a couple of stitches if you made enough half double crochet. If you need more, make some more. If you need less, make some less. So it is depending on your tension. So yarn over and insert in the first row, make a half double crochet, and in the same row make another half double crochet. Then the next row gets 1, and the next gets 2. So do this all the way around, and in the neck you have normal stitches, so you can use the stitches, so you don't need to check out the rows, but you make 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 and 2 in every stitch across, and then go along the other front panel all the way until you are at the end again. So work up your border and then I'll meet you back. I finished my border of half double crochets, If you like another row of half double crochets, then make one more row. I think it's nice and straight, so I leave it like this. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you have a request for a tutorial or a question, let me know in the comments down below. See you next time. Bye bye.